day 5 of my live stream where I am just out and about trying to figure out how best to work all of this amazing equipment we have. And so it's largely about training. Yep, today is a training day. And what I need to do is to get and to learn, and I think it's what everybody should do. I think taking yourself seriously is about investing in yourself, whether it be investing in gear, investigating in training. I had a mom who was possibly the smartest person I have ever been around, and many people also said that about her. So it's not just because she was my mom. I know we all think our moms are great, and we all should think that our moms are great. But her belief was when you got a certification, that type of for training, all it meant was that you had the minimum qualifications in order to do something. To be exceptional meant you had to continue to learn throughout your journey. And as a coach and an educator, I feel it's also important that I be a lifelong learner. So I spend a lot of time in seminars and researching and talking to people who know much more than I do in specific areas and trying to learn. Today there is a wealth of information available to us on the internet. If we just go and we look at some of the various sites that are available to us, we have things like LinkedIn. And lynda.com is actually part of LinkedIn. So lynda.com is a site where you can get training on various things. I first really found out about it a couple of years ago. I was needing to do a video project and realized I didn't know anything about doing video editing. So I jumped on, and I don't know if you can see in the history of my coursework, but I did some trainings on Final Cut Pro and learned a lot, kind of learned it as I went, not doing it like you probably should do a training, which is to dig in and get all of the information that there is within that training and then go figure out how to apply it. I just kind of dug little piecemeal through as I needed to know something else for doing a video that I had to do for an event that we had. I would go and I'd figure out where the information for that might reside, and I just did it. I've since gone back and gone through that entire video series on Final Cut. And I've also jumped in and did a lynda.com on Audition because I realized I needed to do a better job with audio. So it was a place where I said, I learned something there before, and then jumped back in. Another place where there's good information is something called Udemy. And Udemy has classes on various subjects. I went and I took one of Paul Richards' courses on how to use vMix. So I jumped in and I said, well, I'm going to be using vMix and I want to know where it is that I could find some good information. And so I jumped in, and I don't know if there's my courses. Let's see. So vMix Masterclass. And so I jumped in, and this is a course that I did. And I felt like it was good learning. It's a place where people regularly post. I think we probably need to
show you a really amazing feature for vMix 19 in.
So it's another great place to get information. And I think the one where we kind of all know, we all know that the biggest search engine in the world is Google. It has kind of become the name. You think back to when we used to make photocopies, everybody talked about them being Xeroxes, and Xerox became the name, though it was a brand. It became synonymous with photocopies. Well, I would say that Google became synonymous with search. But I think the thing that we might not know is that the second largest search engine in the world, yep, that's it. It's also owned by Google. It's called YouTube. And YouTube is a place where people can anyone can post a training. If you want to think you have some good information on a subject and you want to put the information out for general consumption, YouTube is a place to do that. We've done it with some couple of things that we wanted to just be general information, not something specific that we wanted to charge people for, but we felt like it was good information for people to know. So we have a couple of little informational videos on there. I used to do a lot of that back when I was doing tennis. I would post videos on different drills. I would critique different techniques. I would talk about tactics. I would talk about the psychology behind it. And I would also learn from other people. I can't begin to tell you how many coach education seminars I went to at the beginning of my coaching career, and how even once I believed I knew a lot about 10 and under tennis, which was a new thing in the U.S. I continued to go to the quick start trainings in the area locally, both as a way to learn anything which may be new, which was being presented, but also to kind of make myself a resource available to others, because I was someone who was an early adopter. I think if you want to be taken seriously, you need to be investing in yourself. And it isn't always about investing in education for yourself. Sometimes it's investing in the right gear. When I was a tennis pro, I felt embarrassed when I went on the court and I had holes in my shoes. You know, I'm a tennis pro and I'm supposed to be talking about tennis at a high level, and I can't even afford to have good equipment, which would keep me from hurting myself. So now I'm in the world of videography, and having the appropriate equipment is important. Having the computers that can edit, having the cameras that will record and do different things that I want to do. You know, I'm recording now on a PTZ camera, and if I were to take this camera, I could actually show you. I can sit here and I can move the camera around the room, so you can see various other. You can see another camera. That's not the one that I'm recording on, and so I have the ability to do those things because I invested in gear. I invested in drones and sliders and ability to move media from one place to the other. Most recently invested in storage. Because that's what's important. We're investing in websites. One of the things we're doing is we are redoing websites and figuring out what is the best platform to do what we want to do. We recently, actually just today, got rid of an online store that we had because we don't really need online stores. We needed it when we were selling tennis courses and we wanted people to be able to sign up ahead of time, but we don't need that in what we're currently doing. So sometimes it's important to get rid of the things you don't need anymore, as well as to acquire things that you do. What are you doing to make sure that you're investing in yourself? And if you have a business, that you are investing in your business in ways which are appropriate to say to clients, you want to be taken and should be taken seriously. That's something we all need to be thinking about all of the time. If you'd like some help thinking through the process of how do you invest in yourself and what should you be investing in now versus what can wait, certainly reach out to us. Put a comment down below. We will get back to you in terms of what we believe are the most important things. Not so much as we know it all, but just from someone who has gone through it, been going through it. I've been an entrepreneur. I guess I got my first cell phone the same time I started my first business, which was in 1986. They hadn't even come out with bag phones yet. I actually had a phone in my truck for a construction company that I started at that point in time. So I've been being an entrepreneur, I guess, for 32 years now. And so it's been a pretty long journey, and I have some experience that I think is worth sharing. So reach out to us. Either way, have a wonderful day. The weekend is upon us. Day 5 of my live stream is in the books. I'm taking my daughter to a tournament. I might just have to stream from the tournament as I'm pulling my hair out. So my live stream might be more of the kind that's a gimbal and a cell phone rather than in a studio. But I'm going to keep it going strong the next couple of days and make sure that I get a live stream each day for the rest of the month. Be able to look back and say, wow, I learned a lot over the course of this month. And we're ready to rock and roll. So, for now, that's it. Peace, love, and happiness.